You blame your situation, even after working hard every single day. What if taking responsibility could actually make your life feel lighter instead of heavier? In this video, I'll share 6 powerful mindset shifts backed by psychology that can completely transform the direction of your life. I discovered this idea when I noticed something strange. The people who changed their lives the fastest weren't the smartest or luckiest. They were simply the ones who stopped blaming everything around them. Research from psychology experts shows that people who take personal responsibility feel more confident, motivated, and emotionally strong over time. The problem is, most people wait for motivation, perfect timing, or someone else to save them. And while they wait, life keeps moving. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to take back control of your habits, mindset, and future. Let's dive in. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Most people don't even realize they're handing their power away every single day. When you blame your parents, your boss, your past, or even bad luck for your current situation, you also give them control over your future. Responsibility doesn't mean everything is your fault. It means you're willing to do something about it. Research from psychologists studying locus of control found that people who believe they influence their own outcomes are happier and more successful long-term. This works because your brain becomes action-oriented instead of victim-oriented. Think of it like driving a car. If you believe someone else controls the steering wheel, you'll never try to change direction. But the moment you realize your hands are on the wheel, everything changes. Here's how to apply this immediately. Catch yourself every time you say phrases like, "I can't because of them." Replace it with, "What can I control right now?" Write down one action you can take today, even if it's tiny, and stop waiting for permission to improve your life. For instance, instead of saying, "I don't have time to exercise," try, "I haven't made exercise a priority yet." That tiny language shift changes everything, because responsibility becomes powerful only when you combine it with honesty. This next one is crucial, because you can't change a life you're constantly lying about. A lot of people say they want success, confidence, or freedom, but deep down, they avoid the uncomfortable truth about their habits. Maybe you're wasting hours scrolling. Maybe you're afraid of failure. Maybe you're waiting instead of acting. Research shows self-awareness is one of the strongest predictors of growth. Why? Because your brain can't solve problems it refuses to admit exist. There's a scientific reason for this, and it's fascinating. When you honestly identify a problem, your brain's decision-making center becomes more active. Denial shuts down growth. Truth activates it. Here's how to practice radical honesty. Spend 10 quiet minutes alone every night. Ask yourself one uncomfortable question. What am I avoiding? Write the answer down without judging yourself. And focus on fixing one issue at a time instead of everything at once. People often confuse honesty with self-hate. They're not the same thing. Responsibility says, "This is where I am, and I can improve." Now, you might be thinking, but what if my situation really is unfair? And yes, sometimes it is. But responsibility isn't about fairness, it's about power. This brings me to the next secret. Most people don't know this, but your life is rarely changed by one huge moment. It's changed by tiny decisions repeated daily. The day you take responsibility, you stop focusing only on big goals and start paying attention to small actions. Your morning routine, your sleep, your focus, your attitude. Research from behavioral psychology found that habits shape identity faster than motivation does. This works because your brain loves repetition. Every repeated action becomes evidence of who you believe you are. Think of it like planting seeds. One workout won't transform your body. One productive day won't transform your career. But daily consistency quietly changes everything. Here's how to apply this. Choose one habit that improves your life. Make it so easy you can't fail. Attach it to something you already do daily. and track it visually on paper or a calendar. For example, instead of saying, "I'll read for 2 hours," start with just 5 pages a day. Tiny habits remove resistance. Thousands of students have used this method because consistency beats intensity almost every time. But wait, there's more to this, because responsibility also changes how you react to failure. Most people experience failure and immediately look for excuses. Responsible people look for lessons. That's the difference. When you stop taking failure personally, you become impossible to stop. Research from Stanford psychologists found that people with a growth mindset recover from setbacks faster and improve more consistently. This works because your brain adapts based on interpretation. If failure means "I'm worthless," you'll quit. If failure means "I need a better strategy," you'll grow. Imagine learning to ride a bicycle. Falling isn't proof you can't ride. Falling is part of learning balance. Life works the same way. Here's how to apply this mindset. After every mistake, ask, "What did this teach me?" Separate your identity from your results. Avoid emotional decisions immediately after failure, and improve one small thing before trying again. Instead of saying, "I failed my business," say, "My strategy failed." That's a huge mental difference. You've already watched this far, so let me share something most people never realize. Responsibility also changes your confidence. Most people think confidence comes first, but actually, confidence is built after action, specifically after you prove to yourself that you can be trusted. Every time you break promises to yourself, waking up late, procrastinating, quitting, your brain loses trust in you. But every time you follow through, even in tiny ways, your self-respect grows. Research shows self-discipline improves self-esteem more reliably than motivation alone. This works because your brain values evidence, not intentions. Think about it. Imagine having a friend who constantly breaks promises. Eventually you stop believing them. Your brain treats you the same way. Here's how to rebuild self-trust. Make smaller promises. Complete them consistently. Celebrate progress quietly without needing validation. And stop overcommitting to unrealistic goals. Instead of promising, "I'll completely change my life tomorrow," promise, "I'll wake up 20 minutes earlier." Simplicity creates momentum. Now you might be thinking, what if I already wasted years of my life? Listen carefully. Here's the truth most people avoid. Your life doesn't change when conditions improve. Your life changes when you decide to improve. The day you take full responsibility is the day excuses lose their power. It's the day you stop waiting for motivation and start creating momentum. There's a fascinating psychological reason for this. Action creates clarity faster than thinking does. Most people overthink for years when they could improve through action in weeks. Here's how to start today. Choose one area of life you've been avoiding. Accept where you are without excuses. Take one uncomfortable action immediately after this video, and repeat tomorrow, even if progress feels slow. Imagine waking up tomorrow knowing your future is finally in your own hands. That's what responsibility feels like. Quiet power. And once you experience that feeling, you'll never want to go back. Let's quickly review what we covered today. Stop giving away your power. Tell yourself the truth. Small decisions shape your future. Failure is feedback. Confidence comes from self-trust. And your future begins with a decision. Remember, taking responsibility doesn't mean blaming yourself for everything. It means realizing you still have the power to change what happens next. You have everything you need to build a stronger life. The only difference between where you are now and where you want to be is consistent action. Don't wait until another year disappears. Don't wait until regret becomes heavier than discipline. Start with just one responsible action today. One honest conversation, one healthy habit, one difficult decision. I promise you, a few months from now, you'll look back and realize this was the moment things started changing. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more self-improvement content like this. Drop a comment telling me what's one area of your life you're taking responsibility for starting today. And if you want to learn how to build unstoppable discipline, check out the next video on your screen right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.